welcome. My name is Diana Loderhose. I'm the International Features Editor here at Deadline. We are at our Red Sea studio here in Jeddah, and I'm delighted to be here today with multi-hyphenate, writer, director, producer, Paolo Marinou-Blanco.
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
My pleasure. Thank
How's
you
it
for having me.
going? First time
Good.
at Red Sea?
Yes, first time Red Sea, first time in Saudi Arabia, lots of firsts.
And you're here with the film Dreaming of Lions.
That's right.
So the film premiered last night, I
Yes.
believe, here, and it was an international premiere, yes?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. And everything went well?
Very well. Yeah, it was a sold out screening, and
Right.
the Q&A was fantastic. And then lots of people came and asked questions afterwards. It was really enriching experience.
So I'd love to know, so this is a pretty hefty subject matter for a film, but it's a dark comedy. So I'd love to know, I'll just read the kind of line on it. It's about a terminally ill woman whose thwarted attempts to end her own life lead her to a deceptive professional organization. This is your second feature film.
Yeah.
Why this subject matter? I'd love to know kind of what prompted you or inspired you to kind of take on this subject matter and portray it in kind of a darkly humorous way.
Well, I mean, the inspirations are obviously, from fairly difficult moments in my life, of my family's life and mine personally. But which I can go into, but the reason for approaching them through comedy, I think it's because of my worldview. I've always somehow tried to soften life's harder edges with comedy, and I think the harder something is, the more it hurts, the more we have to laugh at it, the more we have to neutralize it through comedy. And my work as a filmmaker, I want to tackle social, political, or existential issues, if you like, personal issues, through comedy and dark humor. In terms of the personal experiences, it's my father went through a protracted period of illness before he passed away, and he didn't want that to be the case. So he didn't want to spend all this time, in hospital, being kept alive in a way. So that was my first encounter with that, with the fact that someone might want to end their life sooner than its natural course, and that we should have a right to do that, in my opinion. And then also there was a personal experience, which is tragicomic as well. That was so I was going through a sad period in my life, and I had insomnia, just like one of the two main characters, for about 2 weeks or so. And if you spend that long without sleeping, you start to really, go a little bit haywire. And so I downloaded this book that was about painless techniques of, terminating your life, so euthanasia. And I just laid back in bed and started scrolling through it, and I slept like a baby. Yeah, and which is actually like some of the things that happen to this character in the film, and that helped me realize that our essential freedom. So we're free to choose. We're not condemned to live. Life is not a prison. It's a choice that we can make every day, and that just snapped me out of being sad. And also, that's when I got the idea for making the film, so that also kind of gave me a sort of renewed hope.
Mm-hmm. That's fascinating.
That's it.
So what I'd love to know, as your second feature, your first feature was in 2008, and you've been writing a lot since then. We were just speaking about this before, but I'd love to know maybe some lessons that you've kind of gleaned from, your second directorial effort.
Well, I think one of the greatest advantages of just, getting the first feature behind you is that you suddenly realize that not everything is sort of life or death as it is in your first feature. Like in your first feature, a lot of times if you think, I didn't get that eighth take of this one particular moment, you really think that, the film is just never going to happen, or it's going to suffer greatly. And that's not the case. So you have a lot more confidence in that respect in the whole process, and you're better able to judge what is good, what is not good, in terms of the material that you're getting. And I guess also I had more confidence in terms of the visual aspect, so I was more solid in what I wanted in that respect. So that freed up time to do what I really love to do, which is work with the actors. Yeah. So.
Tell us about meeting your lead actress. She just does such a Denise Fraga.
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 Yeah.
I'm pronouncing that wrong. Sorry, apologies. She's phenomenal in it. So maybe you can tell me a little bit about how you kind of found her and to kind of play the pivotal role.
Yes, I mean, first off, I mean, this was, you know, the biggest finding of this film for me. I mean, she's a big star in Brazil, so it's not, it's just I didn't know of her, but in Brazil she's very, very well known. And she is just a force of nature. I mean, she's, you know, I think a global gift to acting in a way, and I hope that she gets recognized worldwide because she deserves it. More so than just in Brazil, where she's already well known. But I went through quite an extensive casting process, and then one day, this was during the pandemic already, and Denise's husband is a very well-known director in Brazil as well, and so during the pandemic, they'd done these videos at home that were part poetry, part theater, part improvisation, where it was just her on camera, and he was obviously shooting and editing, her husband. And I just landed on them on YouTube, of all things, yeah. And she transmitted a lot of the energy that I wanted for this character. And so, you know, I reached out to the agent, and I said, you know, I want Denise Fraga in the film, period. So just, you know, make it happen, sort out, you know, and obviously, as one of the producers, I was also part of the negotiations. But Denise and I, we become friends now, and she's. I mean, my next project, I want her to be in it, and I hope now this is the beginning of a long collaboration. But we often tell the story that she kept saying, because she loved the script right away when she read it, and her reaction is always, "Who is this person who wrote the script?" You know, a comedy about such a dark subject matter. And she kept asking her agent, "Doesn't he want to meet me?" You know, and he's like, he says he doesn't need to. You know, he knows it's you. And because usually directors, you know, before they make up their mind, they want to talk. It's like he says no. Like, he just wants, he's sure, and that's it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
you mentioned you hope to have her in your next project. I I know you're kind of still in the throes of this film, kind of being let loose to the world. But what, if anything, can you tell us about your next project or what you're working on?
Of course, yeah. So it's again dark comedy. So like I said, I want to keep tackling social or psychological issues through dark comedy, and this one is about the housing crisis and retirement homes. So how we, I think, in my opinion, mistreat our elderly. And also about this growing inequality gap in rich countries in terms of housing, so where fewer and fewer people have access to it. But again, tackle it through comedy. So, and also this one also involves a bit of crime and thriller. So
great.
Yeah,
sounds great. What stage are you at? Writing the scripts?
Writing the script.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Thanks so much for being with us here today.
It's my pleasure.
Good luck with the film and enjoy the rest of the festival.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.